If you're like me and have struggled to grow that dumpy, well, you've come to the right place. Hard to believe, but this was me. Yes, I know. I look completely different now. This is because I spent years not knowing how to properly train my glutes and hamstrings to get them to grow, but that has changed. And I'm going to share with you exactly how.
It's game time and I'm up one. Name something I ain't done. Name a body that's my type. Air Jordan, I'll take flight. I'm next level, I'm franchise.
To our winner, Julia Rene.
We're getting ready to train some legs. We're gonna do a glute and hammy workout today. As you guys know, training for a wellness competition, I've had to bring up my glutes and hamstrings, so that has been like my sole focus during this off season and now that we're on prep. Okay, so what I do with my workout plan is I always have like a focus for each month. So for this month, it's gonna be hamstrings. So I'm gonna start my workout with hamstrings because by the time that I'm getting to the very last exercise, I'm gonna be fatigued. So if I save it for the end, I'm not gonna have enough energy to do it. So we're gonna start with RDLs. So the reason why I use this machine to do my RDLs, that just personally, it's better on my low back. One of the reasons why I struggle with doing RDLs is because my lower back always hurts, no matter how hard I try to keep my form perfect. But I've noticed that having this grip on the side, it actually relieves the pressure on my back. So we're gonna start with 2 warm-up sets, probably no weight, and then we're gonna add a 25 on each side. Oh, this is gonna be a bitch today. We're gonna add some weight now. But I better be, okay. We're gonna add some weight now, and I'm going for heavy here. So I'm doing about 3 sets of 8. When I keep my reps lower, then that usually means for me to go higher in weight. I'm just not ready, mentally, physically, spiritually. So a couple tips for when you're doing these. If you're doing them this way or if you're doing them with a barbell where your hands are positioned in front, you want to think about just pushing your hips to the wall behind you and keeping your head down. So you're basically gonna be watching where your body's going. Don't keep your head up. It's going to be painful. Keep your head down and watch it go while you push your hips back to the wall behind you. Also, a lot of things I see people doing when they're doing this, they're going down way further than they need to be, which could end up hurting your low back. You just want to go down right when you feel that stretch before your back takes over, then come up. Okay, that was relatively easy. So that's my cue that I could go heavier for 8. I want to be almost failing around the last 2 reps. And that one, I wasn't really failing around the last 2 reps. So we're gonna challenge ourselves more and we're going to go up in weight. So now that I know for next week that my minimum for this is about this weight. Now that we're getting heavier, I'm gonna wanna put my belt on just so that I can protect my back. I'm all for using all the tools for you to live smarter and not harder. It doesn't make you a badass if you lift without a belt or a grips, and it doesn't make you less of a badass if you lift with a belt or with grips. Smart. Okay, that was still relatively easy. Last week, I was honestly unsure about what my weight was going to be like last None of what I'm saying is making sense. I'm a little delulu right now. But last week I was on lower calories and I was only able to do a plate and a 25 on each side. This week I have higher calories and I'm able to do 2 plates plus a 25. The magic of food. We're gonna rest for at least 2 minutes. One thing that I am struggling with, I've always struggled with, is going to my set too fast and not letting myself recover, because I just love training and I get bored and I just wanna go and do the next set. But if I want to ensure that I am having the best lift possible and I am recovering in between sets so that I can go at the next one heavier, I gotta rest. So we gonna rest. I just tracked how much weight that I did on that so that I know for next week when I come back how much of a unit I am. Anyways, so if you are wanting something just like that, if you click the pinned comment down below in the comment section, you could join me in my training app and train with me. Why aren't you doing it? Girl status, and now I will adjust this one for short girl feet. Small. I like my adjustment higher because I like a fuller range of motion. I don't like it this low. So I'm gonna do it a little bit higher, and we're gonna do 3 sets of 20 here. I know it sounds excessive, but when I was trying to build my abductors, right, this area right here, I did this rep range and I increased strength like nobody's business, and it grew so fast. So I'm just gonna test it out, and I'm gonna try it on my hamstrings and see if we can get them to blow to fuck up. What weight was that? Dude, I didn't even set the weight. It was just whatever weight it was. That is crazy. This is just proof that like lifting is just, it's all up here. Obviously there has to be some strength into it, yada, yada, yada. But last week I literally was only able to do 55 pounds for 20 reps. And this week I forgot to pin the weight because I get excited. And I just did 70 pounds for 20 reps because I wasn't even thinking. So now I obviously have to do all of them like that. Oh, also, come here. Why haven't you subscribed? Has Ian not been making the best content you've ever seen in your life? Do him a favor, not even for me, just a little bit for me, but subscribe. Thank you. Come on, legs. 16. 17. 18. 19. 19 and a half. Okay, that was 19 and a half. Whatever. I tried my best, that's what matters. Okay, last set, 20. Feel a burp coming on. It was a little one, don't worry about it. If I am getting to like that 20 and my reps start getting like crap, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna drop the weight a little bit lighter and I'm gonna finish out my reps with that weight. Music on. I'm a Barbie girl. Oh, did you get that? That's my nail. We're gonna put on our bandsies, kick bandsies. gonna give my hamstrings a little bit of a rest. I have another exercise that's gonna target like my glute tie-in, which is right where your glute and your hamstring meet. So I'm gonna give them a little bit of rest, and we're gonna target our upper glute by the glute medius kickbacks. So I've been implementing these in my program for the last 2 weeks. So I can't say that like I've seen significant growth in 2 weeks, but I can tell you that I feel it. So I'm gonna show you how to set it up. With our working leg, I'm gonna start with a little bit of a lighter weight so I could get it. Working leg, actually let's start with our non-working leg. So we wanna be standing kind of upright. Our non-working leg is gonna go right next to this right here. So this usually goes straight right here. So I'm gonna put it a little bit to the right so that it's even with this little bar. Then with your working leg or your right foot, we're gonna turn it at like a 45-degree angle. And it's gonna come across here, keep it at that 45-degree angle, push it back, boom, squeeze. So you see how when we're doing it, we're not like bam, bam. We're keeping it really controlled. Setting it up, I'm using this to keep me upright so that I don't use my lower back by going like that. Boom, cross it over. Don't let it lock in like that. Cross over, kick back, 1. My nail, R.I.P. What are we doing? Okay, we're gonna do a glute bridge. We're gonna do 3 sets of 8, so I'm gonna go as heavy as I can here. And then after this, we're going to drop the weight a lot lighter, and we're going to do either 2 to 3 sets of a cast glute bridge. I'll explain it when we get there, but it basically looks the same. It's just the range of motion is a lot smaller. So first we're gonna try and go as heavy as we can with the hip thrusts. Okay, that was too easy. So now I kind of have a gauge of like where my strength is, because for me being on prep, it's kind of all over the place. Like some weeks I feel stronger than others, so I'm gonna put another plate on, and my hopes is that I could get 5 plates on each side for 8 reps. All right, set number 2, 8 reps. For me, at least with my stance, I usually do it a little wider and I point my toes out, but when I do the cast glute bridge, I keep my feet straight, pointed forward. So let's set her up. We gotta get at least 8. Add another plate. I am writing in my notes that I'm doing 5 plates for 8 because I'm manifesting that shit. Anytime that I do something that's really heavy, I'll sit there for a second and I just imagine that I've already done it. I literally imagine myself completing the reps, and it literally works like almost every time. It's crazy. Okay. I thrusted so hard, my headphones almost fell off. They went. Okay, just give me a moment. I got a hair in my mouth. Okay, next we're gonna do, I dropped the weight significantly. We just have 2 plates on each side. I'm gonna put a band. This one is pretty heavy resistance because we're gonna do the calf glute bridge. So, like I said before, very similar to a glute bridge. We're just decreasing the range of motion. So when you're doing a traditional glute bridge, you're using like your whole body. You saw that my upper body, like my torso moved a lot. For the calf glute bridge, not so much. So band, right above our knees. We're gonna keep our feet straight. I'm gonna put them about right here. We're gonna do 15 to 20 reps for 2 sets. And then we're done with glute bridges for the rest of my life. Just kidding, basically for today. Oh, okay, so this is what it's gonna look like. The band helps me make sure that I'm not caving my knees in. Go, it's like a halfway down. So we're gonna stop about right here, squeeze. See how my torso is not moving very much? Halfway down, squeeze. Halfway down, squeeze. It's so light, but it hurts so good. My kneecaps are sweating. You see that? Atrocious. Rest. I go night-night. Okay, so the main purpose of this one, I just call them tie-in pushbacks because that's the only way that I could describe them, but we're trying to target right where your end of your glute meets your hamstring. That's called the tie-in. So when we're in the position here, we're gonna have our feet facing forward, and we're almost gonna come down into a squat. We don't want our feet to go past 90 degrees. So we don't wanna lean forward, and we don't wanna like overextend like that. Like if we were doing an RDL, then we would kind of extend like that. So we wanna stay right here, and we're literally just like pushing back, stopping right before your legs are straight, squeezing right here. Coming back down, pause at the 90 degrees, push your glutes back, squeeze right here. Can you see anything? Okay. I'm like, is there anything showing up here? One more set. For these, we're doing, I'm keeping the weight relatively light for here because I'm honestly gassed from this workout. I've PR'd on every single thing. So, actually, this is more weight than I did last week still, but it's not that much. So we're keeping it about like, I'm doing 3 sets of 10 because I have very little to give right now. We're done with that workout. If you're like me and you want to grow a badonkadonk and some hammies, do this workout. You won't regret it. I swear. Make sure you're subscribed. We're on the road to 100K. And as always, I love you all so much. And you're more powerful than you think. Bye.